Hey everybody, Marcus here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. Hey, I am sitting comfortably in the shade on a hot summer's day. So I know I'm not lit very well, but you don't tune in here to see my face. You tune in here to see what we can do with the drone. Well, what are we going to do today? I have got the DJI Mini 4 Pro, one of the most capable drones out there. Of course, we're all pretty excited for the upcoming Mini 5 Pro. But regardless, what we have today is the Mini 4 Pro. What are we going to do? Well, what I want to do is I want to show you if you lose sight of your drone or lose situational awareness of exactly where your drone is at in the sky, I'm going to show you how you can regain that. Now, we all know about return to home, and yes, you can always hit that RTH button, but you have to make sure that your drone records its home point when it takes off. We'll look at that as well, but we're not looking at RTH today. I'm going to show you a couple of different ways, 3 different ways actually, that you can bring your drone home without hitting return to home and figure out exactly where it's at in the sky. So let's quit messing around. Let's get this drone in the air. Okay, we've got a screen recorder started and the drone is reporting ready to fly. However, the first thing I always do is take a look at the safety menu, and I want to know that I have obstacle avoidance on, and I do, in bypass mode. And a radar map is on. That tells me how close the drone is to objects. Optimal return to home is my favorite, although we're not going to be messing with return to home today. But it's something you'll want to look at, 40-meter return to home height, because I have optimal return to home. It may not rise to that height. It'll know how high it needs to go. We're not going to update the home point. We've got AR settings on. Max altitude 120 meters. That's just below 400 feet max legal. I've got distance set to no limit. It's not asking for any calibrations. Quick look at the battery. And I knew it would be good. Those 2 cells are even. So let's see, we are shooting in, we're in camera mode. Let's get into video mode here so you can see this on video. Yeah, it's in 4K 60, so we'll leave it there. So what I'm going to do first here is let's do an automated takeoff on the app and talk about that for a little bit. Holding that button down.
Takeoff.
And hopefully you heard that. I'm not sure if you did, but it said home point is updated. The other thing that I always do is I go to that 7-meter height before moving off, which is what DJI tells you to do in order to get a precision landing. Although again, that is not necessarily what we're interested in today. Okay, this remote is squawking at me here because of we're close to a lot of objects here, but I want to show you where I'm sitting. I'm right next to a tree, and I did that purposely for for this demonstration. So let's talk for a second about BVLOS, or Beyond Visual Line of Sight, or VLOS, Visual Line of Sight. So we're going straight up here to quiet this thing down and dropping that camera down to the rule of thirds. But what I'm going to tell you about is that it's often, as much as we try to keep our drone in sight, it is easy to lose track of it. The drone is in the sun, and the sun is right above me. Let me see if I can point the camera up and see if we can find it. We may not be able to. Yeah, there you go. There you can see the sun. It is right almost directly above me now. If you're up there and the drone's in the sun, you're not going to see it. I don't care how close or how far you are. But then the other thing is there is terrain obstructions. And don't tell me that you always fly out in the open someplace where you can see everything. In this case, like right now, I'm going to turn around here. And you guys know where I am because I showed you, but there is a tree between me and the drone. You can see where I'm at there behind that tree. You can just see the end of the, well, you can see where the landing pad is there, and you can see the picnic table on the other side. That's where I'm sitting. Well, no, can I see the drone? No, I can't. Do I know where it's at? Of course I do. But that's how you can lose track of where your drone is at, and potentially, you know, you're going, okay, I've lost my situational awareness. What's important at this point is to get it back, right? And particularly with a mini drone, it's easy not to see them. And like, you know, right now, yeah, I know where the drone's at, but I can't see it. If I move it around to the other side here, yeah, I'm going to be able to see the drone and see where it's at in the sky. Let's keep moving here. So anybody that tells you that they fly their drone, and like right now, I can see the drone right there, and you can see where I'm at with the home point. But we're seldom all flying in locations where you've got your eyeballs glued to the drone at all times. Often you're looking down at your FPV screen, and I'm going to kind of just fly it out here a little ways, a little different direction, and turn it around. We're kind of over the farmer's field here, and everybody's seen this CarMax. So I'm looking over here, and I've got the tree between me and the drone. How do I figure out where I'm at? Say I'm not familiar with this territory, and I just am not exactly sure where my drone's at. Well, if you look in the bottom left-hand side there, you can see that I have the attitude indicator going there. And I've got it set so that the drone is in the center. I simply point the drone back to the home point, the yellow H there. And by the way, I could move away with the controller, and I could point it towards the controller as well. So yeah, why don't I step up and do that as well? Let's try that. I'm going to move away. I'm going to step up, and I'm going to move away, and you are going to see where I'm at with the controller. See the little blue dot there? See how I'm separating from the H? The H is the home point, and the blue dot is where I'm at. And I'm actually having to walk quite a ways to get it away from that. But that's how you can reacquire where the drone is at. So in this case, I could simply point the nose of the drone, and you can see the attitude. The top of the arrowhead there is the nose of the drone, the pointy end of the arrowhead. But there's also another trick you can do here. I can also change it to where my home point is at the center. So let's do that real quick. I need to click on the top left. And so now you see the little attitude indicator moving around. That's because I'm in the center. You can see the blue dot in the center. And by the way, when it turns green, I'm pointed directly at the drone. But I could simply then fly the drone back to me where I'm at with the controller that way. I actually prefer it the other way. So we're going to switch back to the other way, where I can simply fly back to the home point. And we're going to do that. I'm going to walk back to where I took off, and we're going to bring that drone back to us and get it within visual line of sight. So I'm standing. I realized that that tree is blocking my vision of the drone. So I'm just flying, pointing that pointer right towards the H. Then of course I have my FPV screen that I can see as well. And lo and behold, you can see where I'm standing, and I'm staring right at the drone here. It's right in front of me. So yeah, so that's how I was able to get the drone back, and it's got all kinds of stuff around it, so it's squawking at me a little bit. But that's how I was able to fly the drone back without using return to home. So you're never really lost with your drone. So let's try another way now. Okay, I realized that I forgot to start recording, but that's okay because we've got the screen recorder. But I'm going to start, so you watch that first part just with the screen recorder, which is probably what we want to do anyway. So you know what? I'm not even going to record. We're going to use the screen recorder for the rest of this. But let's fly out the other direction here. And as we do that, before we do that, I'm going to switch to the map in the bottom left corner. Instead of the attitude indicator, I'm going to click on the bottom right of the attitude indicator, which will switch it. Whoops, no, that switched it. I hit that one more time, and then we got the map. You can see that we have a map there, and we got the same icons that we had with the attitude indicator. We've got the arrowhead of the drone that's, you'll see as we get over towards the pond over here, that we will, you'll see the pond on the map. There it is right there. So I'm telling you, okay, so yeah, we're almost over the top. There's the pond right there. Okay, so how do we get the drone back in this situation? Well, let's make that map full screen. So I'm going to touch on the map, and it is full screen. Well, this is super easy. And then you can see your FPV feed then goes in that bottom left over there. But I've got that same arrowhead. It'll show me the line that I flew, right? It'll show me exactly where I flew. And in this case, I've got another tree in front of me, and so it's hard for me to see the drone. And again, say I wasn't familiar with the area and I wanted to get the drone back. Hey, I'm just flying right back down. That red line is the line that will take me to right to where the, and let's see, I guess I have to move the map manually to where the home point is. So if I just follow that red line, the blue line is our flight path, but I follow the red line, it's going to take me right back to my home point, and I am going to bring the drone right down here in front of us. I got to be careful of this tree in front of me. I'm going to drop in altitude, and now I'm close enough. I'm going to go back to getting full screen on the controller, and I'm looking right at the drone right now. Let's drop this guy down and bring it in, and you can see I am sitting on the picnic table, nice and comfortable in the shade here. And there's the little drone in front of me. And so that's how you're never lost with your drone. Even if it's territory that you're unfamiliar with, make sure you got a good home point. And of course, even in this case, it'll tell you where your controller is, and you can fly back to your controller. So you can use the map, or you can use the attitude indicator, either one to do that. So let's switch back to the attitude indicator. That is my favorite way of doing things. And we're going to do something else here. Let's go up again and back. And I'm going to get the drone out here a ways, and I am going to physically watch the drone. And I'm going to tell you when it starts getting pretty small in the sky and you can't see it. I can still see the drone, but it is a tiny little dot, right? But let's say that I couldn't see it. Let's say I'm out there and I look at my screen, then I look back up and I go, where did the drone go? Well, one of the things you can do is you can use your telemetry. So if we look in the bottom left there, right by that attitude indicator, first thing I'm going to do is raise an altitude. That way I know I'm above any obstacles, right? And so, I know where the drone's at right now, but let's just say for the sake of argument, you didn't. And you didn't know which way it was pointed. You didn't know anything. Well, one of the things you can do is you can fly sideways and see and watch the distance. And look at that, it's getting further away. So we know that's not the right way to go. So let's go the other way. Let's go to the drone's left. And yeah, it's counting down. Yeah. And well, now it's getting further away again. So we know that's not the way to go. So again, let's pretend that we don't even know whether the drone's pointed towards me or away from me. Let's pull back on the stick. Let's reverse. And the distance is getting further away there. We're, in this case, 219 meters away. Well, if I press forward, you can see the drone is getting closer. And I can get it to the point and that I know, hey, I'm under 100 meters now. It's really close, so I can see the drone, and it's up in the air there. So again, if you have any kind of telemetry, and that can be really handy. A lot of, you remember DJI used to put telemetry on the controller. You had your FPV screen, you used your phone for an FPV screen, but their older style controller for the Mavics had telemetry on there. Even if you lost all your FPV feed, you could still see that telemetry and fly your drone back. And a lot of second tier drones still have telemetry on the controller, and that is a handy feature. Again, I'm using the RCN2 controller here, so I've got the full FPV feed, but that is a way that even without FPV, you can get your drone back. Let me also add that I have had situations where I've lost the first person view with the drone, but I still had telemetry. So in that way, I was still able to fly the drone back because I could see when it was getting closer to me and when it was getting further. And in fact, I'll tell you about a specific example. I had and let's just fly the drone around while we're doing this, so you got something to look at. I had it was the Hubsan Zeno 2, and I was out on the Snake River Plain, out by Swan Falls Dam. I was out in the middle of the desert, out in the middle of nowhere, and I was flying the drone, and it had telemetry on the controller, but for some reason my FPV feed went blank. I couldn't see anything. I couldn't see what the drone was seeing. I didn't know where. I mean, I had an idea of where it was at, but obviously without the feed, it's tough. Well, all I had was the telemetry on the drone itself. And yes, I agree with you, VLOS. This was a white drone. I was out in the middle of the desert, and I had been looking at the FPV feed. In this case, it was my phone attached to the controller. And looking back up, I couldn't reacquire the drone. Well, how did I get it back? I simply used the telemetry that was on the controller. Just what I just showed you just then. I watched the distance, and as it got closer, I knew the drone was closer to me. I was finally able to reestablish visual line of sight and brought it back. So, we're going to do, since we're messing around here, let's go ahead and show you the amazing return to home on this drone. So I'm going to hit a return to home on the controller, and we're going to see we're going to see how close it gets to the landing pad here, and it should get pretty close. Turning my action camera on so you guys can see that again, and the drone is almost back to us. I was flying the Air 3S day before yesterday, and it was remarkable at how accurate it is getting back to its home point. And I think this drone, while it doesn't have all those features that the Air 3S does, it's certainly, I suspect, and you can see there, we're right next to the tree. Will it acquire that landing pad? Let's find out. We can see the drone shadow. Yeah, it is. Look, it's coming right over. Yeah, it's going to be right in the middle of the pad, and it's going to come down right on the H. I love technology. But what we're focused on today is showing you that you don't always have to depend on technology, like this amazing return to home there, right in the middle of the H. That's a great way to do it, but if you can't, hopefully I showed you how your drone is never lost and how you can always get it back. Hey, okay, we used the little DJI Mini 4 Pro today to show you how your drone is never lost. Even if you don't use return to home, how you can always fly your drone back to you. That telemetry is there for a reason, and we showed you a couple ways to use that. With the attitude indicator, you can either have the drone in the center, or you can have your controller in the center, but you can switch it back and forth either way. On the attitude indicator, I prefer having the drone as the center. You simply point that arrow back to you and fly it right back. We did the same thing with the map, showed you how to just follow that line back to where your home point is. Super easy to do, so it's handy. And we're doing this on a DJI drone. This works on almost any brand of drone, even some of the cheap, less expensive Amazon brands. They have those same features, and you can use exactly that same thing that I just did. I also showed you how you can just use the telemetry, the distance that it's showing you, how far the drone is from its takeoff point, how you can use that to bring the drone back to you and until you can reacquire a visual line of sight. And again, another word about VLOS. Yes, we're supposed to keep our drones in visual line of sight. Anybody that tells you that they haven't lost sight of their drone before, they're probably not being very truthful. And when this is especially appropriate is if you're in an area that you're not familiar with and the landmarks may not make sense to you, so that you know kind of vaguely where your drone is. Again, you can use the technology that's built into your FPV screen and the telemetry to fly your drone back. I also, as I said, a lot of drones have the telemetry right on the controller itself, separate from the FPV screen. Really handy. That's a great way to get your drone back to you till you can reacquire VLOS. So in any case, I guess that's about it. I hope that this was helpful, especially to new flyers, and I guess old flyers alike. I'm an old flyer. Yeah, so again, I know I'm not lit very well. I'm sitting in the shade. Hey, it's a hot day. I want to be in the shade. Okay, this is Marcus with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out. And if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Most of all, I appreciate that you took the time to watch this video today, and I hope it helped you. We'll see you on the next one. Bye now.